it's Lord Haywire again. I am streaming map creation for tabletop games. I don't know how I normally announce that. With DungeonDraft and Foundry, I'm going to do something different today. I have so many issues with DungeonDraft and my large maps that I'm actually going to, everything is turned off, and I'm going to turn off my camera too here. I forgot I was even going to do that, so let's get rid of my camera. There we go, and we're going to see if that causes any improvements to DungeonDraft's grind. It seemed to have helped a long time ago, so I don't have anything on except, whoops, gotta get my dashboard up here. Here we go. And so last time it didn't seem to do very much, but this time I wanted to make sure that I had every possible thing turned off. I'm going to check my settings like I always do. Feel free to post in chat while I check my settings. And we're going to hang out here while what the fuck am I looking for? Oh, I wanted to see if what did I post this as last time? D&D or tabletop? I switched between the two. Here we go. Last week I picked Dungeons and Dragons, so this time is tabletop. And that is, I wish there was like just a DungeonDraft channel or a Foundry channel. In fact, you know what? I'll check for that again. I've checked before, but maybe it's changed. DungeonDraft. Nope. How about Foundry? VTT. Nope. I don't know how you get stuff added. To the options there, but it would be nice to have the actual thing that I'm doing. And I think the ad, no, there's an ad still going, so I'm kind of wading through the ad as well. Oh, you guys can't see me. I keep forgetting. I do so much talk. Oh, I'm waving my hands around. I do so much talk with my hands that I'm waiting for or expecting you to be able to see me doing stuff with my hands, but you can't or see what I'm looking at either. I'm looking at this thing about ads starting in 13 seconds. So I kind of trying to wait through that crap. We are working on my hilltop fort again today. Oh man, that's what happened. There was no, I didn't save it. We put a different tile up here and it looked a lot better. I wonder if, oh man, it takes forever to open this fucking shit. Now I lost some frames already. I haven't even done anything. It's the zoom. Some of it's the zoom. Yeah, I don't know. But I think I can't decide what else to do. Well, I can. The other thing to do is to make smaller maps. I really don't want to. Let's see how bad it is. The other thing I was thinking about, I want to make a map for my other game, and I want it to be to have like sacks of flesh in it. Flesh pile might work. What does this look like? Let's make this really big. I keep double checking. I think shadows are on. They are. Make this like fucking 5. Man, it gets all pixelated though. But I might be able to pull it off with a flesh pile. Giant flesh piles. Be a much smaller map. Basically, there's these like orc creatures that my players are running into, and they spawn. They come out of flesh piles. I want to check something here. I update all the assets too. Let me see. I need. Where was this? I'm looking for. What is this called? Hilltop. Search doesn't work very well. I found it. I saw it earlier. Fort on Hill is what it's called. Is why. Fort on. Look in Windows. Can't remember where I saved that one. It was over here. Nope. All right. Well, some stuff was lost somehow. Oh well, we can fix it. I can remember, and I'm joking myself. 4 is I guess the highest, um, the largest size. I'm joking to myself when I say I can remember because it's like nearly impossible. How much of my save did I lose? Okay, it looks like we finished this area, and that actually worked out pretty good. And I filled in that area, which was good. Last time I didn't do this map because I wanted to fix another map. So this time I am doing this map, and I'm still, oh yeah, there's the grind happened again. Maybe you can't tell. I've lost 9% of my frames. It's such a pain. It's a dungeon draft issue, by the way. I looked it up. All right. So level 2 has everything here. We're pretty much to the level where, yeah, and this is what we were fixing last time. Is this texture looks like shit for some reason. And this doesn't look that great either. And I was thinking about putting another row of like walls are along here so that it's like obvious that it's a wall on top of the other wall, you know, because it's on top of here. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I could. Now I got this little piece of meat stuck on it. It's kind of funny. Um, let's go to level 3 here, and we'll fix this first. So someone pointed out last time in chat, said you should try like some wood down there, some wood flooring, and that was an amazingly good idea. So what I can just do, and I haven't been doing because it didn't dawn on me I could do this, is I could just put a pattern over this building's flooring. So let's put some wood, some nice high quality, what do we got here? Wood flooring for the dining room. And let's turn off, whoops. Let's turn off the grid and the lighting. I don't do the lighting in the, yeah, it's like this floor has too much texture or something. So let's fix all the floors. I think this looks pretty good. It's a solid color. And this is the color I use for color of wood floors and walls and whatnot that I use for if it is considered high class. So I do this brownish color if it's considered, you know, the low class stuff. Staging area for the underground. This is good. Oh, I gotta put a door. Oh, I didn't put doors in here yet. No, we haven't done doors yet on this level. So let's put some doors in first. Did I put doors in on the first level? Let's start with level 1 and make sure I got all the doors in. I don't have the doors in here. So let's start. So wait, doors or floors first? Let's do doors. So I'm a big fan of having every building having 2 doors because, you know, front and back door. Because how many places have you ran into them besides like a shed that only has 1 door? So, and I also like them to be about the same. Oh, I kind of like that door. It makes it shittier looking. I'm a big fan of shittier looking stuff. I know I've said that a million times, but I like shitty looking stuff. You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to do everything on this floor, and then we're going to go to the next floor and do everything. We're at that point where we can do it. And then we can fix all the floors and shit too at the same time. So we're going to be on floor number 1 for the rest of the day and probably the next 6 years. That's about how long it takes. So this guy, he's got a little mushroom farm. He's got some trees, and he's got somewhere they chop down the trees. We're going to make this much more. So this is how I always start. I fill in, do some roads to have a general idea. We got some crops over here. Might readjust that because the idea is that these guys up here can't really grow that many crops, and then we go to the next floor. You know, there's no crops up here. Then we go to the fourth floor, which is just really that roof. So I got this nasty water. I'm double thinking the nasty water. It's kind of a grayish color. in the middle. It might be too gray, I think. X marks the spot. That's for the to see above. It's because I want them to, they're going to be able to throw trash down in there. And I'm going to put trash and stuff underneath that water. Oh, you know what I also was going to do? Let me post in Discord. Good old Discord. DungeonDraft. They have some sort of streaming promotion thing. Try to get my name out there a little bit. There we go. Is it this one? Here's a podcast. I usually am more prepared. I actually sat around waiting for the time to start, and then suddenly the time was here, and I wasn't that prepared. Encounter maps. I don't want to post in the wrong spot. Is the thing. Community content promotions. Whoops, that's not the right. I'm missing something. This is what we want. Why did a bunch of buttons just lit up on my other screen? GitHub, here we go. Let's make sure that this is the, yeah, there's where I posted before. This is all DungeonDraft today, so. Using DungeonDraft, we're going to change this. DungeonDraft will be first. Using DungeonDraft and founder EVTT. There we go. All right, put Discord away now. The frame rate drops are not as bad as last time. So let's hopefully that if I clear everything out and I rebooted, don't have anything running, well, except for like Discord and stuff, everything should work better. Now, so this is the part of my favorite part of making the maps is actually filling in the rooms and stuff. I mean, the whole thing is fun, but like, I don't know, this is less fun than figuring out what this guy's life is because somebody lives here. And that's what we're gonna figure out. He's got some mushrooms. He's probably the woodcutter, let's say. So this guy's there. I actually don't like where I put that door. So let's put it more over here. I don't like putting doors. Oh, the undo button broke. Right there because they look funny. So right there, and we actually want this 180 because we want this little panel to be on the outside, I guess. Sure. Yeah, I think that's a new door. Spent a lot of times looking at these fucking doors. Tell you that much. And we're going to put this front door here. It's got a knob on both sides. There's the back door. You know, he props that open when he goes out to whatever. I was thinking about putting another pointed, like you can see me pointing. Another little side door maybe for him to get to his mushroom path. Or his mushroom path. Let's do another one of these. Or, now let's just have him give him three doors. And like I always say, when you first start a map, it looks like shit. Because you just have like the back, like, look at all this, it's just dirt. Like, what the fuck? But we're gonna fill everything in. We're gonna make this like jam-packed with shit. And I had started this down here, then I had other ideas, and it was this underwater goddamn stream that, or under mountain stream, I mean underground stream. So we'll put paths and stuff here, but let's figure out where this woodcutter stuff, how he lives first. So he's gonna need a bed, of course. We're gonna put a bed down. And these are colorable beds. Let's see. He's kind of into mushrooms and stuff. So let's pick a color for his. What's a mushroom colored bed? Oh, also these things don't save. So if you pick a new color, you got to record it somewhere, which is why I have this open and why there's notes down here of what the watercolor is. Speaking of saving, I can't believe I lost some stuff I did last time. That I think was my fault. I think I didn't hit save. I was in a hurry to go do something. I can't remember what I was doing. Anyways, mushroom guy. I think earth tones sound good for him. I do a lot of boring earth tones. I know people like a lot of like crazy colors and whatnot. This is like a straw bed. Do we got another one of those that's uglier? See, he's got the high fluting. I want his bed to match the Here we go. Oh, this is a double bed. Do we want him to have a double bed? We're going to turn snap off as well. I want a single shitty bed. See, there's the frame. Maybe this guy will be like a gnome. I kind of liked this one with the... There we go. That's the one we want. A lot of them already come with like blankets and pillows and shit. But I think we're going to do this on our own this time. And give him a pillow. These pillow options are... There we go. Turn it a little bit here. I'm a big fan of multiple pillows on my own personal bed. So we'll put 2 pillows on here. And I think I say pillow weird, as I've told that once. Blanket? Do they have blankets? They do have blankets. We'll like find this one here. Whoa. Find one down here. I don't know if about this white part. He digs around in the dirt all the time. I don't think it's gonna be very white. Do we got something that's not? There we go. It's like my bed in my real life. I think I'm gonna need a couple of blankets here though. And this is why it takes me so long to make a map. Is because I fuck around with like, oh, I want to make this person's bed look nice. Now, if we could put it in between, we can. This is where it gets fucked up. We're going to put this in between. We're going to move these pillows off here. We're going to move this guy back on here. Yes, this looks like my bed in my real life. Except I want it reversed. How the fuck do I reverse something? Mirror. There we go. He's going to get out to that side. I know I'm overthinking this. It's just how it is. That looks pretty good. And we're going to put, hey, what happened to my other pillow? I think oh no, I put that one on top of it. Now we want to go thin to front. Put this on top of here. Thin to front. You know what? This whole thing, I kind of want to move this whole thing. You know what? He only gets one pillow. I'm going to move this whole thing. I want this closer to the wall. Why, you ask? Because shit would fall through there. You live in a house and a bed, I assume. Have a bed. There's a pet peeve of mine. It's going into the wall, but I don't think there's any. All right. So all that time to make that bed, and it's like an 8-foot bed. I don't know what size that is. 7.5 feet. If each one of these squares is a 5-foot square. All right, now we have all this other real estate we have to fill up. This is going to be taken up by traffic. You know, people are going to walk here. We'll probably want a table. We always want a fucking table. And we want to give them a shittier table. I was thinking a round table, but maybe we'll do a square one. A lot of times that is kind of like, here, this one is actually better. Maybe not. What are these things? These are new, which I'm very happy about broken stuff. Very happy about broken stuff. It's not really for this map. Pool ball. Why does that have table? Why is that bringing up? I want a round table. Look at these round tables. Not sure. Fallen. Oh, that's fallen. Yeah, I've been wanting shitty tables forever. It's so awesome that they have them now. It's a little smaller. Seems a little too small, but we're gonna do it. See, like tables like this, you can mix them in like when you have a kind of crappy bar. Not sure these upside down tables aren't that useful to me. Maybe later I'll think of a thing. Like, but this the shitty ones I've been wanting forever. Like these are a little too shitty for what I have in mind right now. Yeah, there's a lot of real estate in here. We're gonna fill it up with something. We can do shelves. No, well, let's do a normal table for like his kitchen area. We can actually put some walls in here too. So he has like a bedroom. Let's do that. So it doesn't remember any of your settings. Oh, fucking bevel corners is on. And we're going to find this wall. Is that one. Basically, I just like to make sure everything matches. And this, see, because I'm adding a wall later, it's going to look stupid. So you'll see here what I'm talking about. I'll have shadows on too. So, see, now it's like under that wall. There's got to be a better way to do this, but I haven't figured it out yet. And this is back to my conversation that I keep having about hallways. So I'm going to do it like this, which means it's a 5-foot hallway, which in a normal house is awesome. But in a D&D house, 5-foot hallways are weird because you only can fit one person at a time. So if there's a fight right here, you know, the party can't be properly aligned with their 2 fighters in the front. Actually, you know what we can do as well? Let's do this. So I wish they had shittier walls, and I'll show you what I do when I want a shittier wall. We're going to do this. We're going to make this a little bigger. Maybe even, whoa, maybe even a little bigger than that. Kind of a big bedroom. I'll probably end up being at the same spot I was before. All right. 1 over is good. So what I do when I want a shittier wall is I just make a point and I kind of, oh, snap still on. And I'm on the wrong tool here. Turn snap on and edit didn't work. I just make it less straight a tiny bit. And when you look at it later, it looks maybe not right there. Let's put it like right here. You just want it a tiny bit. This one's probably too much. And later when you look at it, you'll be like, oh, that's not enough now. Actually, we can have it go in. Let's have it go in a little bit. It makes it just less. We can do that with, oh, I can't, I built this with the building tool, so it's not a wall. It just makes it, to me, it makes it look more genuine because there's just a lot of, it'd be hard to get like a perfectly straight, why isn't this snapping on here? It's weird. Perfectly straight wall to, you know, in the good old days. Now we'll go back to our table. I guess my other thing that I do a lot is if I feel like there's too much room, in a building, I just make it 2 rooms and then just adding these walls makes it look smaller. So let's go back. We were on tables. Let's put like a larger table in here and we'll put some shelves, and like some shelves here and some shelves here. Maybe actually, since he's a big shroom dude, he's the shroomifier here. Let's put a table here and let's put a table down here. And we'll, on this table in the corner will be like his workbench. So let's do that. Let's put first his like eating table. What size are we at? Or 1. Go back to 1 here. It's kind of a big eating table for a solo dude. There we go. In this one, we could put it like this. We'll put a chair here, here, and here. And this will be one of those things where no one would want to sit in this chair because people coming in and out that door. And then we'll put a big workshop table type thing down here. Let's also put it off from the wall a little bit. And I generally don't snap tables on there because it starts to look weird if they're all perfectly centered. And like if you go to anyone's house, their shit's all fucked up. I mean, we try as humans to adjust things, but we can't make it perfect. And I already have an idea over here. We want a pot over here on this side. A gigantic pot of some sort. I forget what game I was playing. Kepler's is what I was playing. And they had, you can like pick up people's pots and stuff. This is what I was looking for. Why didn't that come up when I typed in pot? Or did it come up? But you can pick up all sorts of shit and like decorate your houses. Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, here they are. I was thinking something like this. We'll put some pots in here. And we're going to put a shroom in some of these. Can I make this look like there's two stacked on top? I think I can. See, this is the part I really like, is just doing this. It takes me way too long, and there's a point where I'm like, fuck, I need to get onto another building. And we're going to put some mushrooms on here. Remember I was saying he's got these lovely mushrooms. I like all the mushrooms in this game, or in this foundry. Is amazing with its mushroom opportunities. Let's put. Why are some of these so pixelated? I'm not quite sure. Let's put some of these guys in this one. And maybe that's what I should. So I post these on Reddit too. Maybe I should just post like, this is a room of my house that I've been working on, because everyone else makes these tiny maps, and it's actually this one should be over here. It's kind of interesting to see how they get a lot of likes and stuff as they're tiny maps, and it confuses me when they're like this big. This is their whole map, and this is what it will have in it too. And I'll be like, why did they get so many likes out of that? That's weird. Anyways, go back to my object tool. This does not remember what you put in here. I wish you could cut an object in half. That would be amazing. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Let's put this mushroom down here. It's kind of interesting. Is there a way to like drag? Sometimes they have, no, it doesn't look like you can. My idea being, okay, I undid that, but it didn't go away. My idea being it'd be nice to have like some cut up mushrooms down here. So we'll have to do it another way. It's interesting too that mushrooms, what size am I doing? Normal size. Man, these gold color ones, are those new? Huh. Alright, we'll pick, he's got to have some, maybe I'll take out a couple of these trees. Now it's too close to the thing. Maybe we'll do this real quick. What road are we using here? The terrain remembers, luckily. It'd be awful if it didn't. We want gravel brown, I believe. Yes. I was applying some right there to make sure that it... So what we're going to do here, out this guy's back door, we're going to put a path, basically, that goes around these mushrooms. And this is why I was saying, too, that your map is always going to look like shit at the beginning, because you haven't put any paths in. It just looks like you just have this big open world of nothing. And we're going to actually turn this to mud in here. Mushrooms like mud. I don't know. They seem to just grow independently of any thought in my backyard. Just some days I come out and there's a mushroom sitting there. I don't know where they come from. So my idea here is that he's taken some out and they're gonna be on his table and stuff. So back to, where is my gravel here? Make this path. Kind of go in here. We need this a little bigger. Underneath the tree is fine. You can go all the way around. Maybe I'll put I probably will. I'll put like a bench or something out here too. Go underneath that tree. Maybe we'll put like a little bit of dried, not as muddy, you know, in some little spots here. And you know what we also can do is I know that there's footprints in here. Some we could put a foot here. That wasn't the plan, but maybe we'll stash one down here. All right. Let's make it yellower though. That says it's a left foot? Of what? I don't know, but we'll put it down. Oh, it's big. Put it down here. There's no point to doing that. But who knows? Maybe the players who notice. It was like I was talking about before where they notice printing press. Notice that I'd hid like socks in this one room sitting around. Let me think here. It's not, I know that there's these prints somewhere. They're not footprints. Steps, maybe? Step. I know they're down here. I know that there's blood is one of them. Okay, here we go. Colorable. I don't want a bloody footprint. What do they call it? Footprint is one word? I kind of sometimes don't like, yeah, we want that one. Let's put it at normal size. Sometimes don't like the colorable ones because now I gotta remember that I use this. That's the color I use if I want to go back to his drab lifestyle. And my memory is not the best. Let's see. So the footprint should be probably like a darker. We don't want a bloody footprint going through there. How about, and we want like this. Here we go. No, we want like a brown color like that, but I already used that brown color. We can do this eyedropper and drop this, and that was too good. I dropped the wrong place. Let's eyedropper, whoops. It's very dark. I think this will work though. So what we want to do is like kind of show that he's been walking around through this shit. And maybe over here. Just for fun, and we want that to be empty because that's where he's and I want all the mud to match. It may seem weird, but I want the mud to match because it's, you know, it's all the same dirt. So that looks how I want it, pretty much. We need to add some trees there. We're gonna go on like a tree adding spree at some point and just add a fuck ton of trees. I kind of added them over here. I think I was showing something to somebody, to myself or something. So anyways, back to the mushrooms. We know that this dude uprooted some mushrooms over here. That's what he did. He's gonna have them down here now. So with that will let me pick some different colored mushrooms too. And I like I said, I love the mushrooms in this game. I made this one map. I took somebody else had uploaded a bunch of basically empty maps. And this is before I had DungeonDraft. And in Foundry, and I just added mushrooms all over it. And it made it look so awesome. It had some glow and shit. I don't think I have that map anymore. Maybe I do. I can't load Foundry though, or it'll implode my game or DungeonDraft. There's some cut mushrooms, not really the ones I'm talking about. Did I have more with the S on? Alright, I was looking at one and then I got sidetracked, drawing that shit over here. Mushroom stump would be nice too. You know, like how there's these stumps. It would be nice to have mushrooms as if you cut them down. I don't know what do you do when you cut like a giant in real life? What do you do when you, oh, I'm making gestures with my hands again. You can't see them. Uh, what do you do in real life when you cut down a giant mushroom? Of course, there's no giant mushrooms. All right, let's use one of these gold ones. And let's go. It's all right. No, these are pretty small. That's okay. It's not really that great though. If we do it this way, we can add some of these gold guys down here. That way, it will look like he's picking some smaller ones. And let's fix this. I didn't notice this until just now. Make this mud go a little bit out farther. And we'll fix his path, make it go out farther. All right, now this kind of looks like this is an invert of that thing, so I'm gonna make this go just normal. All right, back to this part that I haven't done anything with yet, that I keep saying, and then my saved area over here. Why can't I remember? It did that time. I remembered kind of where it was. So we'll put some of these guys on top of this table in like a little bunch over here. Like maybe he's fucking around with them over here. And where'd they come from? Over here. You know what we also can do with that same idea here. What about these green? These are really bright green ones. Or these guys. Or these guys. Let's use these ones. These weird side ones. Oh, these aren't that big. Let's make them big. Let's make them like 3. Yeah. We'll put some of these in here. Just a few. Just like 1, 2. And then we'll put some more of them over here. Like he's got them. Yeah, I wish they were laying on their side, but like a couple here. They do get kind of pixelated, which sucks. They do get very pixelated. Put that thing there. We're gonna move this thing. We need a table that's, whoa. We need a table that's bigger. We're gonna put 2 tables over there. Need the same table. Where did it go? And we want this size 1. Where are you? No. Like 2. I feel like it's that one, but it's not. Yeah, that one's too big. That one's too big. Fuck did this table come from and go to tablecloths? 2 by 2. Did I have the wrong size on one of these, like 75% or something? Might have. That's a classic move of mine. Nope. Here it is. I guess I just never clicked on it. It just looks so much wider. We want this under. And now we'll put this thing back right in this corner. Because now it's blocking his entrance and exit there. And we'll put a rug and some chairs and shit over here. He'll also need some food. Maybe I'll put some cooking stuff in here. Probably definitely some cooking stuff over there. And if I can, I bet you I can't. I'm going to move these. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. There we go. Let's move these over to here. Actually, let's delete these. I have an idea that we're going to put them back, but we're going to put them back in a different way. Mushrooms. It's a bummer they get so pixelated when you make them larger. Which ones were they? The gold ones, right? Yep. And we will put, oh, this one's like on its side. Ish. It looks like kind of a moldy piece of pizza. That's okay though. We're gonna put these like against this wall. Not like that though. I guess undo didn't work again. The joys of undo not working. Man, they get really pixelated though. Do they look that bad over here? They do. Let's get rid of them. They're too pixelated. We'll have to pick a different mushroom for my mushroom fantasy over here. I kind of feel also like there's a lot of people that aren't fans of Forgotten Adventures, which is weird. I think their assets are great. I don't know, maybe because they charge money. All right, so these are 1 by 1, and I'm making them like 3 by 3. Why aren't these guys all pixelated though? I mean, they're a little bit, like their outline is a little bit darker, but not. I don't think 1 by 1 is what they're talking about. See, I'm hovering over them to see what the size difference is. Well, let's find one of these, like this guy right there. Or using any of these yet. See, these all say they're 1 by 1 as well. Okay. Here we go. It says it's 1 by 1. And it is. Well, why are these ones so fucking tiny? I guess there's just some that are really tiny, and you can kind of tell by how pixelated they are on this screen. Yeah, I guess you can kind of tell. These ones look okay. Now they're tiny. We could put one of these, like, looks like an ear almost, like underneath here. And we'll put a couple of in a pile of these over here. You can use Alt too, or Control. No, Alt. No, I don't know. Normally you can also pick through those somehow. A little pile. Are these all the same? I think I just picked the same one. And I guess we'll just have to, maybe one of these big puffer ones. Yeah, they're not that big. We'll put a puffer one here, and then a couple, they have different little specs. Somebody had to draw that shit. Perfect. Got some puffer ones on that table. Maybe we'll put down a cloth. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, we could put down a cutting board instead. And they have cutting boards. I was about to say that's a futile. Gesture, but there we can put a cutting board. We can put a knife down. We need like a chopper. Like that. And then we need like a cauldron. Cauldron. That's not how you spell cauldron. Cauldron. Hey, fifth guess was the correct one. We need a cauldron up here. So to me, that seems like the wrong side because I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed. I think it's because I'm left-handed. The cauldron should be on this side and the other thing should be on that side. And then can we put in like some water in here? Do we have any like colored water lilies or something? Lily pad? Foam? All right, this might be doable. 0.5. No, a little bit smaller. 0.3. This might be dual. Let's put this off to the side. Hey, Danny. How's it going? Long time no talk. Um, I need something. Well, maybe let's keep scrolling down here. What have you been up to? Ice? No. All right. What's that? How about just something blue? Can we get away with some blue? Like what? Yeah. Oh, this is. Oh yeah. How is your novel going? See, it might seem weird to put a rock in here, but if we put it like, oh, we can't do that. Some crystals. All right, these are all blue items. Get a pie in there. Or the blueberry or something. Pie be blue. It's kind of tempting. All right, let's go back. Here's a broken one. All right, bear with me here. Then, oh, there's something weird going on in there. Yeah, I think we'll leave that weirdness. I think that works. It's not perfectly centered, I don't think. I don't know if that's possible. Do I have the right thing? I do. Yeah, I don't think I can get it oh, what? Maybe. What? Yeah, there's something weird going on in there, and that's what we want. Is it broken glass? or or is it some sort of mushroom thing? All right, enough with that. That was like 10 minutes on one cauldron and wasn't even really that useful. Let's go back to our mushrooms here. Shall we just throw in some tiny normal ones in here? Let's put them normal size. Yeah, we'll put some normal one, like a normal one over here. In here. Oh, these are different, but they're almost the same. And, you know, those might look, little ones, I don't know. They might look like that on the inside. And maybe some yellow ones. Yeah, let's mix this shit up. And, you know what though? Let's put these yellow ones resting against these other ones. He's doing something over here. And I was going to put a cloth down like he was cutting on there, but I think the cutting board works better. And so this is pretty good. We'll probably need a candle just because for fuck's sakes, you always need a candle. Yeah, real life is always getting in the way of something. What do we want? Green candle? Red. And go with white, the good old standard. I think these candle colors are new too. They used to just be colorable. And what do we want over here? Nothing. Let's leave that. No, let's put a spoon over here. Oh, you know what we need? We need a bucket. We can put a bucket right here. Does any of these buckets have water in them? Not really. And we'll put in a mushroom in this bucket. How small are these guys? Oh yeah, here we go. Make them a tiny bit smaller here. Were we talking about the centaur unicorns, Danny? Was that what we were talking about? Last time I saw you, that was a long time ago. I can't believe my memory even. All right. And then we got some bucket. We got everything's there. Now we're gonna throw in some chairs. We gotta do the chairs. We always got. And we gotta make them normal size. Want them to be under. Once again, this is gonna be the chair that no one sits at because it's right next to that door. We'll say this is the spot he likes to sit at. And we'll put another. So I played a centaur archaeologist in Dun goddamn Dungeon Scroll or Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup the other day, and I thought of you. And we'll put a plate on here. Look at this plate. This is new. We want him to have a shitty plate because he's a mushroom dealer, you know. He's not the most well off. I don't know, maybe mushrooms are worth a lot. We want a candle over here too. And we'll put a fork. I don't know why there's no such thing as three-pronged forks in these assets. They just don't exist. Put a fork in here, and we'll put a mushroom on his plate just because that's, you know, his thing. Let's put some of these ones. Yeah. And do we have a tablecloth? That would be, I think, wasn't there a bunch of them up here? Do we have like a gross one though? They're also nice. How about a napkin? Napkin. Okay. So that's a weird. Let's do cloth. See, these are what I was using as socks. I don't think those are socks, but we want like a little. Just something to distinguish this table a little bit from just being a. I know it's all brown. All right, how big is that? That's pretty big, but that's okay. We can go 0.25. Oh, that's too small. 0.35. Oh, wow, the contrast differences. Are you writing your novel with a friend too? Wow. Co-authorship. Yeah, I like that, but I don't know if it's because when you zoom, I mean, I don't know how often the players are zoomed in this close. You know what I mean? Like, they're probably like zoomed out like that, and then they're just specs. And what do I care, right? Now we're gonna need a rug. Rugs make everything better. And this color is that thing, so let's not do that. Let's make it match his bed. Oh, I've used these before. I'm a big fan of like ugly rugs, but maybe not this ugly. Let's pick a different, what matches with brown? Green? Like, hmm. Um, maybe a little squirrelier. Yeah, let's make it a little bigger. Let's center this on his tables. And then let's put a different, it's a big one. Let's put a normal one in here. You know, his feet gets cold when he tries to go to the bathroom in the morning. And we're gonna need a chest. Always need a chest. And did I put that too close? No, I did not. And we're gonna need some shelves. I don't have room for shelves anymore there. We're gonna put some shelves inside his, what happened? Um, Shelves inside his room. What's going on with this? What the fuck is, all of a sudden we got this line here showing my location of my cursor, which is, it's nice, but I don't need it right now. How did I turn that on? I'm gonna save it just in case some fucking horrible thing happens. Would not be the first time. Alright, how do I get this thing out of here? The middle mouse? No, what did I push? Alt, Control, Shift, Windows button. Nothing. Caps lock. Numlock. The fuck did I push and get that thing on here? Oh god, what have I pushed now? Compare. Positioning. Scrolling. I don't want to reload because if I reload then that's like 10 minutes of waiting. Things take a while to load. Can I deal with this? Just in my brain here. I guess I can. What did I push to get that happen? Or was it just a dungeon draft in implosion? Sort? Nope. All? Nope. I pushed everything. Alright, I'm just gonna deal with it. Snap. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, maybe it's one of these things. What is this? There we go. What is this button? R. Yeah, but what is it? What does it do? Okay. Why is everything transparent now? What the fuck? That's never happened before that I could see stuff through. I mean, I actually kind of like the transparency, but look at that. You can see that through. What the fuck is going on here? Alright, I'm gonna put this down and we'll see. I'm gonna save it and hopefully, yeah, you can see like the grass and stuff. I'm gonna put this shelf, oh my god, over. Down, we might move that rug. And look at that cutout right there. Yeah, it's something weird just happened. I forget, Danny, do you use Dungeon Draft? Oh, you were looking at Wonder Draft or something. Yeah, we're gonna move this rug. And what I'm gonna do is this thing's gonna play a commercial in 3 minutes. So right before that, I'm gonna restart this, and we'll see. And I'll take a break at the same time. All right, the rug's in a better place. The rug might be a little too green. Can we put some footprints on that? What were those called? Um, blood. It was blood something, yeah. And then here's a thought here. They're quite hard. No, it's the wrong one. Quite hard to see. Want the one with the shoes on. What happened to those? Here, we'll pick a different color so I can see them. And then we'll change the color back to, oh, I think it was this color actually. They're almost identical. Be nice if they weren't so long. Well, those handprints aren't. It's like Slender Man. All right, my laziness is gonna tell me to use this one. Oh God, I gotta hurry. Only got 1 minute left. Do they have boots? No boots. Boot. No. I was thinking I could have boots right there, like at the end of the thing. They're very straight. Can I turn, rotate slowly? No. I was hoping that there was um a way to have it like bend it. You can bend the paths. You can't bend this thing. See, that's two. Can we do under? No, now it's going underneath there. I need some normal. How much time? 50 seconds. Oh, these are smaller. Here we go. Here we go. They're different. Here we go. Here we go. Then we can do under here. For the last. No, we need 25 seconds before I can. One print. That's all we needed was one because then it's like he swung around and sat down. All right, that was too much effort for those footprints. But I'm going to take a quick break while this commercial plays, and I will be right back. Let me reset the timer here. All right, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Alright, I'm back. I was about to say you should probably be able to tell because you can see me, but you can't see me. Gotta turn all that crap off for Dungeon Draft. Um, Alright, so I think this thing's kind of done. We could put a knife or something on here as tool of some sort. What kind of tools do we got? Do we have a shovel? Like a little, what do they call those? Do they call them spades? On like a little one. I could put that actually. Oh shit, I didn't restart Dungeon Draft like I said I was going to, and we're still, everything's transparent. God damn it. Alright, we have to restart it, see if this is fucked up or what here. That's saved. So we'll just chat for 5 minutes. We'll just talk here. Alright. Well, what are you up to, Danny? So have you checked out Tailspire? That's the other, that's like the 3D modeling program. And guess I'll drink some water here. I don't want to open Foundry up with while this is going, otherwise it will just implode. It's a very touchy program. Yeah. What do you do for a living? I'm an IT manager myself. Which is fun most of the time, but also can be quite boring. You get a lot of the same questions over and over again, which makes the job easy though. Waiting patiently here. Oh, you told me, I think you told me you were in fast food before. I've done fast food. Everybody's probably done fast food. Oh, yeah, you were telling me that, I think, is that you were all gonna quit. Yeah, fast food is hard work. I actually worked with this lady who had like kids and like 3 kids, and she'd been working at it was Del Taco, which is like a Taco Bell sort of, except they also serve hamburgers. Um, and she had like 3 kids and were working there for years, like immigrated from Jamaica, and I always felt like terrible for her because how could she survive off and support 3 kids off of Del Taco wage? Because it was shitty. This was also like 25 years ago, so it was probably less shitty equivalently. You know what I mean? Like the pay was bad, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. She was an interesting lady. She would run it. Anybody would give it any shit, she would charge at them with the thing that held the window open. All right, this finally loaded. What we're gonna do is everything transparent still. No. All right. So I don't know what happened there. My saved stuff is gonna be missing. Like it would be nice if I knew how to turn that on and off. Transparent stuff, but I don't. All right, this does look like it's curved a little bit, which is fine. This is a little angular. The ancient vine. Was there a vine that had a? They talked about Del Taco. We're gonna put. So what I want is like a little shovel. Um, and I don't remember what they're called. Like a little. Oh, we could use one of these though. We want a crappier one. Like this thing. No, that's like a coal shovel. But maybe. Oh, it's got its shadow on. Maybe he uses that. Let's put this towards the door though. And let's put one of these next to this door. Maybe not as good a one. It's hard to get it sometimes you gotta like lean it like that against something. That looks so small though, compared to that pot. All right, then we got his shelf to do too. Actually, and we need a lantern. We're back to my lantern issue. Yeah, I've worked a ton of what I call shitty jobs. Fast food's one of them. I actually was a dishwasher at a restaurant, and it wasn't that bad. It was at a catering company, and it wasn't actually that bad because you just worked and you washed the dishes, and then when you were done, you went home. Like that was you had a goal. It was a pile of dishes, and then when the goal was done, no one harassed you. You just worked as hard as you could, and then you were done. It was like backbreakingly, like everything was so fucking heavy though. Let's put a like kind of a rusty one. Let's give a slightly nicer rusty one though. You come in the door, you put your lantern down here, over there on your way to bed. We got candles, we got that. Let's save that tiny bit of change. All right, this is like a guard post sort of. I kind of wished I'd made it closer to the road. Can I get rid of this thing? I don't think I can. Can I like edit points and move it over here? Oh god, what have I done? What happens if I like move this? Okay, that does work. Let's get beveled corners off. And let's pick the wood floor and what wall was I using here? A two ply. Yeah, the dishwashing wasn't bad. Worked at Kinko's, which is like FedEx Office, which is like a copy place, not coffee, but copy. Worked it there for a total of 10 years of my life. 5 years at one point and 5 years at another. And I feel like that's one of the biggest mistakes I made was wasting those 10 years because that was a shitty job. Shitty pay. Did I go past this already? No. Um, the corporation didn't give a fuck. As you would expect, they didn't give a fuck. All right, this is the first time I've moved a building this way, but it works. And we don't want it that big though. Fifteen by 15. Maybe we should even move it one more. Yeah, let's move it one more. It's like right on the road, which actually doesn't, I was worried it would look kind of bad, but I don't think it does. Maybe if we put this terrain brush of, where's my forest? 2 hours already set on it. And like make this not so, like that more. Then we'll put, kind of like that other one that I did actually, we'll do, one of these guys. Not a door frame. How did I do that before? I'm trying to think. Was it preset? I think it was. I did a window frame. Not that small. I want a bigger one. Here we go. Ooh, that looks terrible. Let me think here. Let's move this building one more time here. We're gonna move it out one more. Can't believe that this works. It seems like that should not work at all. And we'll fix the road around it. What we'll do here is we'll go back to the portal tool. We're going to do that right in the middle of a tile because fuck the player, right? And fuck putting a token on here. You know what we could do? Can I make this not snap? We could probably, yeah, do it like this. Nope. Then we get. How far away do we gotta be? All right, and then what I did before, and I think that we actually have more options here. I think I put a plank in there. The tiny little plank. How big is this one? That's a nice big one. Yeah, so when I worked at Kinko's, I learned about corporate greed. And it was shocking. All right, this will work. This will work quite well, actually. You know what's weird, though, is I don't want shadow. Can I edit these fucking shadows out of this building? Doesn't look like I have that option. So see how the shadows look a little weird there? If I do a square, do I have that option? No. Bummer. All right. Well, back to my object tool here. Maybe for this one I want a better. Um, so I like this. It's kind of rough, and so I like it, but maybe it's too rough for this particular thing. Maybe I'm just suddenly thinking here. Let's go back to Windows. Maybe we want it to be like one of these guys. These are stone. Do I have a wood version of that? Oh, I got one with already. There we go. That already had the thing on it. And what we can do is we can put a dude with a crossbow or crossbow sitting here instead of a. Do I have more crossbows options now too? I think I do. Yeah, these bolts are new, I'm pretty sure, unless I never typed in crossbow before, which would be weird, because I've used crossbows a bunch. No, it won't go on top of it. Let's try another layer. Let's see if this layer, yeah, that doesn't do shit. Above walls. There we go. Is that weird though? That looks a little weird. Above roofs. No, I'll just leave it like that. I was thinking we can just put a dude there, you know, and have a dude with a crossbow instead of a crossbow. And if we're gonna do that, actually, I just suddenly want to change this all the way all around again. Um, Snap this thing. Let's put it in the middle. Let's wait. I had a second idea here. Actually, let's turn snap on again. No, it's too close. And no, we're gonna do this. This is what we're gonna do. Snap, come back on here. And we're gonna put this here. And those are normal windows. And then we need a door. Man, it's very tempting to put a crossbow or a arrow slit there. I don't have any good ones. They're all stone. I mean, you can just light this on fire. And that's the end of that thing. That problem. So I was at a meeting. They used to make us go in on a Saturday, like once a month, to do these meetings, these store meetings. And this is after FedEx bought them. This is when I worked at Kinko's. And so I go on my day off for like this 2-hour meeting where they just like shout corporate propaganda at you. And I'm sitting there one day and they bring up like they have a projector, that has I want to like somewhat, yeah, this might be okay. I think this side. So they bring up this thing and they're like, FedEx only made $60 billion. I don't remember the real amount. $60 billion this year or this quarter, and our shareholders are very upset. That's the profit. That's their gross. What is it? Gross or net? Gross versus net. I never can remember. Before taxes, net is. Oh, this is all talking about for an employee. Basically, it was after expenses. They only made $60 billion or whatever. And we need to really work harder to make that more profitable. And we're like, well, we haven't gotten a raise in forever. And they're like, you guys don't deserve a raise. They only made $60 billion and the shareholders are unhappy about it. And it's like, fuck you guys. Like, yeah, there's a point. Oh, this one's going to work. This one's thicker. That other one was too thin. There's a point where it just looks moronic if you don't have, if they've made so much money after expenses and the shareholders are crying about it. I understand the shareholders need to, get their shared value back, but it's if you pay your employees, you're going to get them to work harder. And that was like one of the. Then this is after I'd worked for there for years, and I said something in the meeting. I was like, that makes FedEx look awful, like harping on about how after expenses they only made billions, and we're making like $12 an hour. I still want a bucket with arrows in it. I don't know that's not a quiver. Yeah, I think they added more arrows too. They did. I've never seen these ones before. It would be hard to make a bucket with arrows. Maybe it's over like, let's look at their tag stuff. So we got like arrow slits. We already looked at those. Archery targets. So it blew my mind that they wanted to present that at a meeting where we were supposed to be like, yes, we got to make the corporation more money when we're getting paid less. They also paid millions for this study to compare Kinko's versus Starbucks. And they found out that Starbucks employees were paid a lot more. And they were like, oh, we'll give you guys a raise, one day. And it was just this weird, like, why are you throwing money away on that when you can just ask one person and know that that's the case? I don't know. Just the whole corporate scumminess has been pounded in my head, and every corporation I've worked for has been scummy as shit. All right, ropes and nets. What do we got here? Maybe we can put a rope in here. Turn snap and grid off. No, let's leave grid on. Put a rope over here. Like ropes. I do want like some stools. So here's some stools. Oh, they have stools on their side now. Great. But at the same time, if I had like quit my job and told my parents like, fuck that place, it's a corporate hellhole, they would have had no sympathy, And you got to survive. Let's put a stool here, and let's put like a nice chair. A nice comfier chair for the person, not nice, but it's gonna have arms on it. I guess these are my armchair options. Oh, this is a rocking chair, I think. No, didn't say it is. Put a chair over here. Let's put a table in here. So this is like sort of like a guard post. Um, yeah, so I mean, I survived off Kinko's for years. Well, those 10 years. Barely survived. I was talking with my lift. Oh, that matches way too much. With my lift driver the other day, how at Kinko's we would all loan each other money because no one could survive to pass the paycheck. Yeah, that table fits really well there. That's almost too good. Maybe. No, because if you sat here, you could lean on the table. Let's put a flower on this thing, just out of character. Uncharacteristically, a flower on here. I want one with a vase. Oh. Ew. I guess we'll use one of these. What is this thing? Oh my god, that thing's ugly as fuck. Might put this down here. Oh yeah, I never filled up this guy's shelves. I was gonna put a book on here and stuff. Not like a Necronomicon or anything. When you put a book on there, it makes it look less like a shelf, though. Let's put a... Oh wow, you can see through those now. I need a book end. That one word? Let's put another row of books over here. Not that long. So I don't know why they put gaps between these end books, because how are they being held up? They need to be touching. Hasn't this person ever had a bookshelf? Oh, that's the same as the other one I picked. I'm probably the only one who cares about that. Like, see that third one over? So it goes purple, green, red. That one's leaning against the other one. That one's great. These other ones are just floating there. Fuck out of here. Alright, I need 2 bookends, though. Statue. See what we got here. Something weird, like a gigantic ball. I was thinking of something more... What is that? A unicorn. And we'll put this other one. See, he's got one bookend on one side, and then the other bookend on the other. Instead of them, he's using... Instead of putting them on both ends, he's got one on each side. I'm doing hand gestures again, and you can't see it. So, that's helpful to you. Alright, let's save this again. So basically, whoever lives here is kind of a weirdo, which is a good thing. Back to this. What was I doing here? I was going to put a flower down, and then I saw that other flower, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And... what do we got here? I swear there was like... Maybe it's over here. Let's look at their tag stuff. Thrones? What do we got for thrones? Oh, we got those. I remember those. Shelves. Siege weapons. That wasn't the plan, but... that wasn't the plan at all. Do we have one that's not so pretty? What's the difference between these two? They're labeled differently. So let's see, it would spin on the X there. We'd have to make it smaller. We could put like a smaller little crossbow in here. That's actually, this works with the other thing I was talking about. That's what we're gonna do. What is this thing? Ballista ammo. So this, that's kind of what let me look here. What did I do? Siege engines. I gotta remember ballista. Let's do ammo. Okay. I was hoping I would find something. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna change my whole plan up here. We're gonna move this table right in the middle. We're gonna put another one of these portals. Up here. Turn snap on. We got three-way shooting there. We're gonna move this guy's thing back here. We want snap off. And we'll leave that guy there. We'll have some rope there, definitely. We'll move this guy to like there. We're gonna put, oh, my ballista's still attached. It's just a little ballista. We want this centered though. We want the X centered. Why I'm saying that is because it's got to spin on a, nope. It's got to spin on that X to shoot out all three windows. There we go. Then we need that ammo. We're still at half size, so these will match. We can put like a pile of it here. There we go. If we put these on top and it looks like there's even more, we can. And you know what we can do though? Can I slide a table under that? I can, but I need a bigger table. Let's go back to one. Is this the same as this one? I want a different table. Are these the same? They're not the same, but they're very, very similar. Yeah, we could do this. We'll just make this smaller. How are they getting between here? Alright, that's not gonna work. We'll leave that on the ground. What do we need over here? We need some like pikes or something so they can poke out the window. Alright, that's not a pike. I think it's showing up because that's a spike. What is this? Let's go with spear. I want some just normal old spears. There we go. But I want it to be like this. Couple of spears that are at 75% though. Let's put them at 1. I really wish they had a pole arm or halberd. Pole arm. Hal. Bird. See? Man, I think there's some of these are new. Some badass looking. Let's put a mace. Let's get a mace in here. See, that's so perfectly straight up that it's. They have no tables. They're not supposed to be sitting down or slacking. That's what they're not supposed to be doing. They got ammo for the ballista. It still feels sparse to me. I don't know what else to put in here. Do you have any suggestions, chat? We got rope. We got some spears. You know what? We can go back to this. Do we have any that aren't so beautiful? Yeah. Yeah, here we go. I don't know. I don't know how that looks. My idea was they could pick it up and shove it through the window. You know what we could do instead? We just go back to a spear and do that. I don't know if it's hard to tell. We know what we could do is put it like under this table. So it's less underneath here, maybe. What is slow rotate? Z. So that'll make it look more like those things are spears as well. You got crossbow or ballista bolts. We got that thing can shoot out these windows. People can come and talk. He's got a spear down there. That guy's got a mace over there. We got a chair for the one dude. Maybe we should have a sign on this thing in front of here. A notice board like that. Now we'll fix this road kind of stuff here. Terrain. How much time have I already spent? I've already spent like an hour and a half, and I've only done one building, 2 buildings. Put this like this. Maybe that last was a little. I did go on an anti-corporation diatribe, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. Fucking corporations. Then we wanted this gravel to go around the back here. Because that's how these guys get to work. Where do they go to the bathroom, though? Who knows? Let's save this. Does that look like that's under that? That does look like that's under that. Get a ballista, a half-size ballista bolt into your face while you're looking at the notice board. Okay. So I do think this dirt with on top of this thing looks way better than it did before with it being all clean. What's next? We need another building. What is this building? What is this? All right, we know what this one is. This is a farm building. We don't really have any bathrooms though, you know. Put a bathroom right here. Like a communal. Let's do that. Let's put a communal bathroom right here. That'd be like 3 long. We'll do the 3-seater, which I keep talking about. In every video game that I see a toilet, I'm like, hey, that's not a 3-seater. Yeah, let's do a building. This is exactly what we want. Let's put snap on. That's 3 by 2. That's 3.5 by 2. Perfect. We'll put some little windows in here too. Just like some tiny ones. Well, I don't know, no tiny ones. We'll just do it'll just be a horrible place to be. Toilet, is that what works? Yeah. Oh man, there's no 3-seater. We're gonna make it a 3-seater. We want. How big is this? And turn snap off. Are they actually calling these toilets? Because they're not really a toilet. A toilet is a specific. Sorry, what is this? A toilet lid? I've never heard of that before in my life. It's probably a good idea though. A tombstone. I like. Oh, we could put a graveyard over. Like over here. Okay. Back to the toilet dilemma, though. Let's put them. Okay, how did I do this before? I think I made a three-seater before. What we're gonna need first is we're gonna need like a place, like a bench, where then we'll put this on top of it. Let's see if we can find a bench. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a bench. No, what we need is like, well, we could. Well, let's see. No, that's not big enough. Why is this so small? This is 1 by 3. It's not gonna work for the way I'm thinking. This has happened before where I felt like everything's actually smaller than it should be, and then later it just suddenly seems to jump back into normal size. Huh. Alright, that's not gonna work how I want. What we need is let's go back to our plank options. Alright, this one looks normal sized. Yeah, that's gonna be normal size. So let's find a plank that is wider, like 2 by 3, hopefully. That'd be the perfect option. But I don't see that, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3. I guess I could have used different ends. Let's use different ends, because that's what we're going to be seeing here is the different. 2. Oh, yeah, that was a little bit smaller. Perfect. Then we're going to go back to our toilet here. And there was one of these that had, yeah, it was smooth. I don't know what's that little line on the front for? Your massive dick and balls. That's what that line on the front is for. Lining them up this way kind of doesn't work. See, this one's in the center of the. It's because the wall's on the other side. Actually, think this should be a little closer to the front. All right. Who knows what this back panel is for? So you can pry it up. And oh no, I know what it's for. Where's my toilet lid? Oh yeah, we got a toilet lid there, and then you put this away. Yep, that's what that's for. They're all in the same direction though. We can't have that happen. We could put that one like there too, and we'll put this one in the back. And what else do we want here? We want a bucket, of course. We always want buckets. Oh, we probably need a door. We want one of these like really shitty. Yeah, right here. Why do I feel like the door handle should be on the other side? There we go. The only problem with these toilet lids here is that now it's like they're in order of fucking snap. Order of like it was in diagonal order. Gotta have more chaos than that. Okay. Now we got that. Do we need a chair or anything in here? I don't think we do. Let's fix this road. That was quick. That was quick, you know? So if you make it bigger, it's less, I think it's less jarring. Who has to clean this place is what I'm wondering. Oh, what's yeah, it does. So if you have a bigger, I think that it does. A bigger this thing. Wow. Yeah. No, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing stuff. All right, these guys have to come over here from the guard place to go to their bathroom. And this guy, we never put a path back to his to get to the road here. I mean, we were gonna do it later, but might as well do it now. I was gonna put a bench in over here for him to sit at and look and watch his mushrooms grow. I don't know. Are mushrooms outdoor growth things? I don't think they are, but let's put a bench in over here. This is a fantasy world. There's magic and shit in it. We just looked at all these benches, and I think, yeah, this is the one we want. And on this guard shack, let's put a lantern, lantern. But I want it on like a post. On each side, maybe? If we do each side, then we'll have to have a... What did that... It wasn't... Oh, God. I was thinking light source there, but maybe that was a bad option. Let me look at these tag ones. This is what I'm thinking of. We want... There's like ones where they stick out on a piece of wood. Like, oh, I'm hand gesturing again, and you guys can't see that. Um, Window. Maybe they have it under light. Lanterns. Oh, maybe it's a lamp. Like this. That doesn't have the actual lamp hanging from the end though, so I'd have to stick stuff together, and my laziness doesn't work that way. I mean, that's what I'll probably end up doing. Did I not put that at the end of... Did I not understand that when I was making those other maps? I don't think I did. I think I just put the post out there. It's always to the right. And let's put a rusty fucker underneath here. Yeah, I don't think I did. I think I was just putting these in as kind of interesting that I didn't think of that. They aren't perfectly... They are... That one's pretty close, actually. That one's pretty close, too. This one is not pretty close. Alright, why so much light? So you can shoot people with your ballista at night. Alright, there we go. We got that. Do we need a lantern thing for the bathroom? Probably, most definitely. We'll put the rope one down, though. And what did I use? The triangle, whatever, one over here. Just slightly different one. Yeah, so this is going to provide a bunch of light going up through here. This guy's not going to have one of those. Now, back to here, which is going to be like the farming area. Let's put in some portals. We want some basic doors. Not that basic, but I know they have one that I've used a bunch of times before because I like it. That's not, like, that's too reinforced looking for me. I want like a, oh, maybe those are my only options. I thought I had one that was, it's like a normal door. What did I use for that guy down there? That one's kind of normal, but for some reason that seems like that would be an outdoor door. Maybe not. Guess that might be the one I'm going to use. Maybe it was like a legacy door or something. Maybe I'm misremembering. It's probably a misremembering. And doorknob on both sides. Oh, here we go. No, these have metal doorknobs. I thought they had a wooden doorknob. Maybe it was this one. It was probably this one. This guy, like I was saying, we want to have a front door and a back door always. He's got his house there. He'll come out and go this way to his crops. And we'll put a back door over here. How close are we to the end of the... Alright, when we're talking about maybe putting a graveyard back here. And what about... Let's think about this graveyard idea. So we need grave mounds. Okay, we have those. Yeah, we have a bunch of them. We have all sorts of options for that. So we totally can make a graveyard over here. So how big are these mounds? Just out of curiosity, like. They are, it's really hard to see with that. They're like that big. A normal human's 6 feet, so I guess that works. I mean, a normal human is about around 6 feet. Like, what about like this thing? I wonder what a normal grave size is. Let's Google that because that's not weird. Normal grave size. Oh, that auto 24 by 12 by 4. 24 inches by 12. No, these are feet. What? A standard grave is 8 feet long and 2.5 feet wide. Alright, that's not a grave though, that's like a tomb. Here we go. So it's a little bit wider, but otherwise it's pretty close. We're gonna change this ground in here too, just like I did on the other map. We're gonna make this like the muddy ground, I think, or some other dirt, not the this ground. But first, let's do this guy up. Well, maybe we should put the graveyard in first. Let's put the graveyard in first since that seems more interesting. Let's put let's put the we're gonna need like markers for how. Well, we kind of know it's hard. It is hard as fuck to see the. How easy does it get rid of these? I'm gonna select them. All right, we're gonna use those as markers for like how many graves we want back here. Like, do we want fucking a million of them, or do we want like just a few? So we're gonna mark these here. You gotta also have room. It is hard to see. Okay, so that's like in the middle. Okay, on this side it's in the middle. No, it's two. Somehow I turned my grave there. And this one is two. Alright, so this is in a good spot. And this one, though, is in the middle of a line, and so is this one. No, that one isn't. This one is. Doesn't matter, really. Probably if we did this a different way. Let's go back. And we start like here. I want a big gap between here and the... And not too close to the edge of the map. 4 wide seems good. If I was playing RimWorld, I would make them much closer and just have just like a line. I would just put them all like this. Just a perfect line of them. All right, let's see this here. So that's a lot of graves, but we're not gonna have holes dug in the whole area. I just needed a spot to mark where the headstones are gonna be. Headstone. Nope. Head. Nope. There's a head though. What do they call them? Tombstones? What do they call them? Tombstones. And we'll put trees over here as well. Is that what he was calling them over there in Forgotten Adventures? Tombstones is what he was calling them. I'm not gonna use any crosses. That seems weird in a D&D world because I don't know how many how many how many whatchamacallits, how many gods use crosses? This one. Well, that's a broken cross. You know what I mean? Let's I can like stack them on top of each other, which is kind of weird, but also there we go. See how that looks. Looks like some kind of weird tomb. And you know what I should be doing though here? We got a lot of real estate to cover. We got a lot of different. We can use the same color. What color stone though is around here? It's more this black shit. So let's go. Let's get rid of all these, and let's just do this in like a more undo button broke. I got 2.5 minutes before it plays a commercial against my will. We're gonna leave like these two open, like they haven't been filled in yet. Actually, no. We're gonna do like. Oh, we could put a like one of these. Man, those ones are tiny. On some random. We're gonna leave some empty. Is basically what I'm saying. If I used that one before, it doesn't really matter. I already used that one. All right, how many empty ones? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can fill in a few more here. Oh, two the same right in a row. Two in the same right next to each other. Those are different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do one more here. Oh, there was one there and I just didn't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. And that is, I have one more minute here before the. Then what we'll do is we will go back and we'll like delete these things. And this one, this one, this one, that one's there, this one, and now we'll figure out what we're going to do with these other ones. One of these should be open. And we'll make it this one. Or you know what we could do? Yeah, we'll make it this one. These, I kind of put these all on the edge, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. We want it kind of less towards the edge of the map. There is that thing there. We'll make it this one is going to be open. Now there's a dirt pile, I think, somewhere. Oh, it's got to do an ad. All right, I will be right back in less than 5 minutes. Stupid fucking ads ruining my life. All right, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I am back. Let me turn off my sign here. So I forgot how to do it. Like I haven't done it 1,000 times. I gotta think. Usually I only do maps for like 2 hours or so. The last couple times I've done them for longer. And this time I want to finish this graveyard and then also um, hopefully finish this farm. But now my breaks are like exactly an hour because of the ad timer thing. It's weird. I guess it's better. I don't know. So what were we looking for? Dirt pile. And we want it to be the same color-ish. And we're going to do this one. It's right at the edge of the map. The zombie horde. It just kind of sucks. It's right at the edge of the map. Let's do it here. That's also right at the edge of the map. What the fuck? Let's do it here. Maybe there's something weird going on. And this guy's digging up graves. Or something. We're not putting a headstone on it. So back to here. Maybe he's filling in a grave. Maybe, who knows? Who the fuck knows, right? Dirt pile. Right there. Perfect. Now, let's move one of these other gravestones over here. And we'll get rid of this guy. See, the idea is that not every place is filled yet, you know? And then we're going to do a lot. So the graveyard is going to be easy. Maybe we'll put some green grass, though, on top. Do we have any, like, grass that doesn't look like it's a exact perfect... I'm looking for, like, a tile that's not... Okay, we don't have any of that. We can put some flowers on these in the grave areas, too. But first we're going to use the train tool here with the gravel of... people are going to be coming and visiting this, so... We're going to have a gravel path here. And this also is going to go to this guy's back thing. It's going to go underneath this because let's go here more. And we're going to change the dirt under the crops too. Maybe I'll just do the graveyard. I don't know. Make this go like this. Make this go like this. And we'll probably put another path. Whoops. Trying to move the map, not do it path out of his front door. And we'll do a path more like that. What is this other color? Oh, that's part of the path. It gets all wide and weird here, but it's also, you know, part of his life. I'm gonna make a path over here. When you start putting in paths is when the ground looks less shitty, because right now it's all just that weird gray, or the weird brown. Want it like that. And we want it down to here as well. And we can't make any fuck ups. And we're probably gonna, this path is probably gonna be overflowed with mud, but that's okay. We're gonna do a path down here. And you'll see, you know, it's okay if it goes along the road a little bit. Oh, I put a lot of crops over here. I forgot about that. And I was gonna take these crops out at some point, and then I changed my mind, I guess. Go all the way along the road. We could do a different color dirt. I was thinking it would all be this weird gravelish color because that's what's underneath the forest part. And we're gonna put trees and stuff over here too. So don't worry that this looks weird. Let's save this just in case I haven't saved it. I don't trust the autosave, by the way. I have it on and it has worked in the past, but it has also not worked in the past, so if you use DungeonDraft, then manually save. Don't save in any user directory. It doesn't work pretty regularly in a user directory. You gotta save it in its own shit. And I can make this tool bigger, I guess, to make this less tedious. But it seems to be working fine. All right, there's a path around all of the crops. And that follows the road. Remember, there's things here. There's a hill right here. If we go to the next level, the hill actually isn't that close. But the hill was closer. Maybe we'll move this road to go more closer, farther from his shit, and closer over here. Then we also got to make a path though for the graves, because people are gonna be visiting these graves. I like brown. Yep. Path for the graves, right behind the gravestones of the other guys. So that is 2. Which, man, it is hard to see. That's 2 right there. This should go here then. And there is a grave at the end. It's hard to see, but there is a grave over here. So we're going to go to here. It's okay that I wasn't perfectly straight with that. Same here. But we're not going to go to the end this time because there's no grave over there. I'm going to go to here. And this one needs it all the way to go to the back. And because there's a grave there. All right. Got our gravestone area. We got our path here. We got a dirt pile. I think I want to try to put some grass here. I'm curious how can I do this? Cave floor I'm not using this one, so let's, that was just something I was fucking around with. What about like this grass? What does that grass look like? It's pretty ugly, but it fits with this ugliness. It's too it's too brown, I think. What about that? That's too green. Let's put, what about this one? That is pretty yellow. And that kind of looks like some weird water fell on top of it. Let's move this over here. Too green. Too weird. See, I was thinking about even like making this grass go bigger. No. Well, I could, let's redo that button. Let's see, maybe there's another grass options here that will make it look. Forest floor. That's just another shade of green there. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to pull off the grass. I don't know. What do you guys in chat think? It's kind of, this one kind of blends in with, it's B3. That one's too bright. That one kind of blends in since it's bigger. A bigger patch kind of blends in. Let's see here. Make the patch even bigger. It's kind of like, and we can fix that the path too. It's kind of as if it's kind of what do you call it? Thickly as well. Maybe there's too much there. What I'm thinking here is that the grass grows where the corpses are. Gives it some nutrition. That actually looks okay, like it's growing where they dug it up. So maybe on most of these, we'll do it like kind of like that here. Because we do need some change from this constant brown color. And that one we won't put anything there. Maybe just a few, little tiny bit. And if you zoom in, yeah, so it's like it's kind of, and that one's all beat up too, so that's a good spot for that. I think there's too much here. What are we doing? Forest twig. Put this back here. You know what though? We'll leave these combined. Like they were married and they're in love or something. And let's put, I think I got some grass over here, so let's make sure that that grass is all gone. And let's go back to my gravel. Kind of touch this up here. These ones don't go on the other side, so let's make that happen too. I mean, they'll go on the other side a little bit, but not as much here. Yeah, maybe we'll do this too. There we go. Now we got a graveyard. Maybe. We can always fix it later if we don't like it. Sometimes when I reload, I'm like, that looks fucking terrible. And then I fix it. Let's put some flowers on here though. We can put that, there's a black flower. Yeah, here we go. Right? Oh, it's huge. Looks like it's made of some material too. Let's make it much smaller. We will put like a bouquet of black flowers on this poor sucker. And then we'll do some, like maybe some lilies or something. I don't know if those are lilies. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know anything about plants. I should. It's like a dandelion or some shit. Put one there. Man, they're significantly larger than the first one. We'll put one there. Well, now we have them all in the first row. Let's not do that. Put it on top. This broken one, we can put like one of these guys. There we go. I still am not sure about this. Tell me what you think. If you don't like it, don't worry. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Save it. And now back to this farmhouse real quick, which has now also become the grave keeper. Let's actually do something else with this train brush. Now, does this look good as wet mud soil in here? I think it does. So I know I've been using this a lot, but I think it like works with this whole color. You know what I mean? Like it's, and I like it to like kind of spread onto the path too. I know everything is kind of like shit or piss color on this map, but it's kind of what I'm going for. An insane int was originally the plan to have he rules this thing. It might have changed by this point. That was originally the plan. There's an insane int that lives in the fort on the hill, and this was for like this other game where the players died. I may have killed them off, but he was going to be one of the people that they run into. Is this insane int that they have to go talk to? Basically, between these kingdoms, these small, very shitty kingdoms, um, the only place they can go is to this dude, this insane imp. Yeah, that is some gross ass fucking ground, which is kind of what I'm wanting. All right, we got farms there. We can put more trees over here too. We got trees there. Let's finish this farmhouse though. How much time do I got? With the stupid ad timer that started now, I'm constantly looking at the time. It's weird. Let's put some beds in. Let's put a double bed. We're gonna go fast here. I need a double bed. He can have a nicer. Just because he lives next to the graveyard doesn't mean that he's like depressed. That's kind of depressing. Light blue, double bed. Put it down here. Let's actually put in some windows too. I was about to say no. Those are door frames. I mean, I could use it as a window. A door frame too. According to that thing. Here we go. Windows. We want small windows. Or do we want large windows? Do you really want a window over your bed like that? I personally would not. But I'm kind of... See, I'm not a big fan of that. Where the window reaches like that, how it affects the wall. So we're going to go back to these ones. What window? Oh, I was using these ones as well. Oh, that's a big window. Let's say that's north, so the rising sun would be coming over this side. That would kind of be shitty. Let's do this big window over his bed that way. I would definitely not like that. Have to get it like a blackout curtain or something. And do I have one that's not as big? I guess that's what these guys are. Put like a, well, you know what? No, we'll put this big one here as well. He'll be nice and bright. And we'll put a smaller one right here looking over the road. And a smaller one looking over the graveyard. This is a nice, he's going to have a nice bright house, you know? Like I said, he's not necessarily evil person because he's just a farmer dude that happens to live like next to the graveyard. And I also want to put another bed in with, we're gonna make it like match blue. We want like one that looks like a kid slept here though. Here we go. Oh wait, we want one, you know, like with the blankets kicked down. This is the highfalutin. Where's like this one? Oh, that's another one with straw at the bottom. That's perfect. Turn snap off. We'll put one here. Because farmers have kids, and we'll put the other one here. Oh, both these have the doorways right next to them. Dad, I hate living next to the one with the doorway. Why do I have to sleep there? You know, that type of shit. It's gonna go there. So they put the kid they like less there. And we'll put a table. We'll put a round table in. This is actually, I thought I was gonna have to make it smaller. But no, we're gonna put a round table in right here. So you're gonna come in, no more, this is gonna be tight living chairs. But that's what happens. People live in small spaces. Unlike the guy, the mushroom dealer down there. And we'll put You need to have 4 of these in here. So they gotta squeeze by 5 feet is actually pretty big. But we got a table there. Oh, we need something that he can cook on. A stove. We're gonna stick this stove right over here. And I never put any food prep down here like I told myself I was gonna do. I was gonna put food prep in here, but I guess not. We could put like a stove right here. We'd have to move that bench. I guess we wouldn't necessarily have to move that bench, but it would be weird. We could put the stove right here. And this is what we'll do. This is exactly what we'll do. Oh, I need to put some shit over there too, though. Can we turn this? Does this fit in here? Not really. But what we can do to fix that is put this over in this corner and put this rusty stove right here. He's got to cook his something with his cauldron, you know? He's got that cauldron. He's got to put it somewhere. And back up to the farmer in his little area. Actually, let's turn this stove. I have an idea here. And put it like this. Oh, I don't want the rested one. And we'll put one of these things on the side. I like these little things in this world. I don't. Oh, this doesn't look as good as I was hoping it would. Yeah, that actually looks okay. So the idea is that, you know, you can cook stuff here, and we can put like a pot on here, so it looks less weird. I'm looking. I want like a pot with a handle, a pan, like one of these guys. And what else do we need? We need a cabinet. Cabinets. No, they're probably calling it something else. What are they calling it? Furniture. That brings up like a shit ton of stuff. What I'm looking for is something like this, but not that or that. How about a counter? Oh my god, I was looking for these. I made my own. Now they have them. Maybe they've always been there and I never typed in counter. Huh. Alright, try to remember that for next time. When I fix those other bar things. I mean, I made my own. I guess I could attach that to there. What I was thinking is something like a table there, but not a table. Like maybe like that. Actually, that works. Because you need some area for food prep, you know? Especially if you're feeding 2 kids. And then we can put a chest somewhere with all of their worldly belongings. And the reason why this isn't rusty is because they keep their shit clean. We put a couple of chests. Will this chest fit in here? It will, but how would they get to it? We'll put a chest here. We'll put a chest here. We'll put a different chest there. This is like the kids' chest. And where do they store It wasn't a cabinet, it was something else. It was furniture. Furniture. We can put something between here. You know, they can store stuff under this counter thing as well. So I want, this actually might work now. Yeah, like a nightstand between these guys. It's not a very big one. Can we have a slightly larger one? You know, now, yes, this is what we'll do. We'll sink this into the wall so it's not as, you'll see what we'll do here. This is probably too big. No, that works. We'll put this, we'll hide it underneath there so it's less big. There we go. Now we need a bucket because you know my love of buckets. Maybe we don't need a bucket. All right. Candle. That's not how you spell candle. So I can't spell at all. We'll put a candle like this, except not that large. And a candle here. I want that candle with this one. That makes it look like this is underneath the thing. We'll put another candle. Now let's do a lantern. Now we'll put a candle here. We'll turn that a little bit so you can see that it's got a finger holder thinger. What else do we need? We need some plates. You know, before I forget, do they have like a wash bin? It'd be nice. They do. I vaguely remember these kind of sucking. But this is close. This is okay. We'll put a wash bin at the middle. And then we'll do plates. Those are bowls. Why do I think those are plates every time I go on them? They're all bowls. Here's the plates. That's a normal size plate? All right. We'll put some plates here. We'll put a couple of bowls. I don't know. One bowl. How far back is this piece of wood? Yeah, one bowl. Can we put a bowl in here? What does it look like? It's not gonna look good. What else do we need? Utensils. Alright. Fork. Well, I was about to put knife in there too, but I think we'll use a couple of these forks. We'll actually put them over here. And got a fork, some forks for the family. Knives for the family. I do like these stabbed in knives. Let's put a stabbed in knife there, because that's always fun. Oh, here's some other tools I was looking for. Remember I was looking for a little shovel? Put this back here. I gotta reach over the bowls for it. Whoops, it's touching the bowl. Oh, undo didn't work. And I want normal, well, like butter knife type things. Yeah, we only give them two. The parents can cut their kids' food. All right, so we got all their eating utensils. We got light sources. We don't have a light source here next to their bed, so let's put a candle on top of that. On top of this guy. And we got candle, 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 chest, this thing, a little thing there. This is not a good idea. That's a fire hazard right there. Let's move this fire hazard. Can we put it on top of that thing? Let's put it like here. I mean, it is where the kids sleep, so they would be probably causing fire hazards. I think that's pretty. We should probably put another pan on here, actually. Cast iron. Cast iron pan on the oven. That's where it lives. I mean, that's where mine lives, on the stove. Except that's pretty. Oh, you know what? They don't have any? They don't have any cups. Cup. There's these. Okay, maybe they're not called cups. I don't want them to have a rusty cup. They have these wooden cups. Maybe they're called, what's a synonym? Is that the word I'm looking for? Cinnamon. Synonym for cup. Uh, glass, but that's gonna give me all glasses, like all glass. Magnifying glass. Interesting. Um, beer. Was it beer that? I think it was beer that had it. Mug. That's what it was. I think it was mug. Oh yeah, here we go. I just want a wooden cup. If you can't store them there, it looks like we might be able to cram. We can fit 4 in here. And then what about some soap? Yeah, they got soap. That has like a stamp on it. That's pretty cool. I don't think we need soap on a rope there. We're gonna go with the, yeah. We're gonna keep the color coding. Unless someone took a bite out of that one. That seems something like a kid would do. Does that look like it's underneath though? Yeah, that's not gonna help me. This would be the part where I was saying this in another stream where I wish you could draw a perfect circle of water. This would be a part if I could draw a perfect circle of water, or perfect lined water, because the water is the brush. Oh, there's a circle shape. Where did it go? It's probably underneath. Yeah, it is. It would be nice to put it here. Can I put it like on a different level? Doesn't look like it. My idea was turn this to like a water type thing. But now there's just one underneath here, and maybe if I'm ever fixing this years from now, be like, what is this from? This is also a fire hazard, but I don't know. Medieval times, right? Um, what was I gonna put there? Oh, soap. I do like the bite out of crime here. Let's make it blue though. We're going with blue. What about suds? Suds. Suds. Foam. See, they got some foam in there. I just want a circle of foam to be on here. Kind of like that foam I used before. Yeah, like that. Oh, why are we at 0.9? Well, whatever. That happens to me all the time in this. We want a little bit of suds in here, not that much. Now I've used suds twice. That looks much more sketchy though with that thing in there. That actually looks like a cauldron. So that, I don't think that's, people are gonna be like, what's this? Why does this one have this in here too? That's my thought process there. I think that's fine. I don't know why I'm overthinking it. All right, what else do we need in this house? We could put a carpet in. We could put like a, was it carpet? Yeah, it was carpet. We're gonna make this small though. We're gonna put it like right there. Looks like we need about 0.4 maybe? 0.35. Let's go 0.3. Whoops, not 0.0. we'll put, I'm trying to move this like just incrementally. There we go. And we'll put this over here as well. Perfect. They got all the matching blue. They're the blue people. Oh shit, I made these beds the same. Fucking ass. Talking to myself. Let's make tiny bed. Can I just plop this down on top of this other one? Alright, I'll get rid of it. I still am not sure if it, like, I was saying this before, if this uses, like, if you were to plop a ton of shit right on top of each other, is it still going to try to render that shit in the background and that, and so is it better to have a clean slate or what? Alright, we got crops. We got this. We got that. We're going to have to move this road. We don't have to, but I think it will be better if we move the road away from this farm a little bit. So we're going to have to do that next time. We got this. This kind of looks like vomit from a distance. We're going to have to fill this all in with trees. That part's going to be awesome. We'll fill this in with trees. This part's going to be trees. Trees, trees. And then maybe I'll make like a little video of what it looks like when a character is moving through the map. We're going to make a bridge there. Do I have time? I have 20 minutes. Yeah. Let's throw a bridge on the top of this. Yeah, I was thinking about, yeah, this is the entrance to the underground. This is, okay, there's a bridge. An old drawbridge. How about this guy? That's a drawbridge as well. I already used this as a bridge in another map. Oh, are these connectable? We don't have a better bridge. Or a worse bridge. Wow, if we're using that on a different one, that bridge is kind of cool. Huh. I'm not gonna use that here because it doesn't match the ground color that we're using. It almost does. It does, I think, match this. Oh, let's go to second floor. Oh, no, it doesn't. That's a different color. Gotta remember this bridge for that dirt color. It's very close, but not close enough, I don't think. And it doesn't really need to be that large either. What do we got bridges wise? Alright, so we're like, this one is one bridge. Whoops. What happens if we go like this? We don't actually have to make them perfect. That's a bridge. I can't, I think this is, so the V is when it enters. Oh, I got two V's over here. So that might be as close as we want to get. What does our other one look like? I actually think I like the other one better now that I put this one down. So I'm thinking like, originally they have these two bridges that go across it, but then they need it for wider traffic. They put this other third bridge there. I like stuff not to match. I don't know if you've caught on with that. What bridge did we use down here? That isn't even marked as a bridge. I just must have found, this must be like a table or something. Yeah. We're not gonna get rid of these marks later. Just during map making, so I can tell, like, if we get a, actually let's compare this, before I call it a night here, let's compare this to 2. Let's turn this down a little bit. All right, so yeah, this bridge is pretty close to that, which is what we want. Okay, so that goes here, out like that. So that's why that's pretty close to here as well. We could still, let's do that real quick. So this is the other thing that happens to me is I get sidetracked fixing, like when I want to go and I'm like, oh, I should just stop doing this now. Then I'm like, well, let me just fix this one thing. Let's actually, I'm on the wrong, thing here. We're gonna make this go a little bit closer. The reason why is I think it's just a little bit weird. And I'm gonna, once I have this basic edge, we can fix the other side. The other thing is we can put people up here to shoot down on these other guys if that's the, if need be. So we're gonna turn this compare off here because I can't see shit. All right. So this area is a little close. Let's put the forest twigs. Put this back. Actually, let's do the gravel. Make this wider. That's like 10 feet wide. We can actually go a little hog wild here. That isn't perfectly straight, which is what we want. 10 feet wide, a wagon is 10 feet wide. So we want it to be more like 15 feet with maybe like a little area that isn't 15 feet wide. Is that what we're doing here? We're doing like, yeah, about 15 feet wide. We don't want it to be perfectly straight. Maybe we'll even put a little turnout right here. And we're gonna put trees in as well. Later, not tonight. And then we'll go back to the forest twigs. We don't need it this fucking wide. We just want to kind of put it away from the guy's crops. I mean, you see that in real life. You've seen, you've been driving down the highway and you'll look over and you'll see side roads right next to the person's crop. But I want it a little bit farther here. And I also don't really want this to be that perfectly straight. There's something weird to me about perfectly straight roads in D&D settings. That looks pretty good. Let's put this gravel though to maybe like here. We'll make this a little wider. Little passing lane here. I was pretty close to the edge, so yeah, we'll do a little passing lane there. Then let's fix this up. So again, around the edges, you're gonna have all sorts of chaos. All right, this is starting to come together. We're gonna need a lot more. I kind of want to do I want to go for another hour though? I don't want to make you guys sit through a commercial, even if it's a 30-second commercial, for another. You know, I can snooze. What happens if I do that? Snooze for 5 minutes. There we go. Let's throw some fucking trees in here real quick, too. What kind of trees was I using? Those are pines again? Guess so. Alright. I want these trees to be more, when we're gonna put more dead trees as well, we're gonna mix these in. Oh, that was the thing, the issue, is I was trying to not use trees with shadows. All is clear to this, so I only can use these 3. That's why I was picking, because usually I like to stick just like mostly mostly these green trees, and I couldn't remember why I put these other color trees in here. It's because they don't have shadows. So see, these ones all have shadows on them, and if they look good, but if you have to have them all facing the same direction, which isn't that big of a deal. But also, like, let's say it's noon, then there's these weird shadows, so that's the thought process there. Let's put like this one. These can overlap the road because the people aren't, you know, only their trunks can't overlap the road. And we're using these black trees. Where are they? Oh, was this some colorable tree that I picked a black color for? Because if it is, that's fucking, that sucks. Because I don't know what color I picked. I guess do an eyedropper. Yeah, I think it was a colorable tree. Oh, did I do that one? Nope. Gray? Nope. Yeah, I picked some color, and these colors don't save. I'm gonna get lucky. No, it's gonna be really hard to pick. Or wait, no, that is the. Whoa. I don't know what I did. I did something bad. Yeah, those are too black. Fuck. Well, let's see. Maybe I can do this. Yeah, I can just copy and paste some, which is kind of a bummer. Now I'm rethinking my shadow concept, but I don't know. All right, we'll have to leave spaces for the black trees. I think actually if we do pine, yeah, I will show this the ones that I want. Let's put like one here. Couple of trees there. We need some more trees on the edge. And whoops. Have these overlapping here. Don't want too many dead trees over here, but we do want some, well, not dead, diseased trees, we'll say. Same with this guy's backyard. We'll have some more. Oh, no, I'll use some goddamn trees. Can't get too close over there. At this point, I guess I could just do this all over. Yeah, it's easier to do the other one and leave space, but I'm going to forget to leave space is the issue. I know myself well enough. Do we want any blue ones? I don't think we want any blue ones. I think those trees are the same, aren't they? Yeah, it's hard to tell. Some of these guys. This doesn't look really good once it's in Foundry. Trust me. It just looks like a bunch of bullshit right now, but once you get into Foundry, it improves everything pretty much. I think there might be too many there. Maybe not. I think there are. There's too many of these things. Take out some. Kind of trying to do it random, sort of. All right, that's more. Tree there. Let's put one of these dying trees over here. They're not dying. They're not diseased. They're just a tree. Put a tree there. They do this thing in Oregon. I live in Oregon, where they leave the trees. They cut down all the trees except for the ones right along the road, and that's what we're gonna do here as well. That way, you tell that they've stripped all of the trees out of everywhere. You leave the ones by the road. Now that's their plan. At least to put one of these black trees over here. You got a lot more over here. Maybe I should be doing them first. This looks kind of ridiculous with these things. We'll see. Well, I'll see about it, but I might just have this one next to this thing. I think I am to do that. They looks too ridiculous. We'll just have it at the front. I think that just might be my fantasy imagination. There's always just one at the front, but it still looks ridiculous. All right, this is growing. Put trees. We're gonna put trees basically everywhere. Filling in the world with trees is one of my favorite things to do, and whatchamacallit, Dungeon Draft. The issue is and when you get to Foundry, I'll stick a tree here. They're not a big fan of all these walls that you're gonna create because of the trees. Foundry's not too into that. Let's go through these guys. I kind of try to put them in randomly. The reason why is I just think nature is kind of a random type thing. I mean, there obviously is some thought process to it, but I like more random shit than possible. I also sorry, I wasn't. I like to put them sometimes really close, like a big cluster of them, because for all you know, that's one trunk that's split in two or something. Let's put some over this guy. Let's put some over here. One of these guys there. Let's not forget that these things go off the edge. All right, I gotta call it a night with Dungeon Draft. Otherwise, I'll be stuck doing this. I literally one time did this for like 8 hours, just fucked around in Dungeon Draft. Now I forgot some of these trees. There we go. I didn't really forget it. It goes right there. These are much better mixed than this crowd. Maybe the disease is spreading from this side. So this is the other thing I do with if I find fuck ups in my game, I just write it into the game. Disease. Boom. Disease is spreading. The int who runs the place has gone insane, and his madness is affecting the trees. There we go. Problem solved. That's why these trees are different colors and slowly changing color. In fact, now that that is, what do you call it? Canon. I'm just gonna put a tree here. So now that that's canon, we'll have all the trees get less diseased as they go far away. I don't know. Just making shit up. But it sounds like a good idea, right? I usually spin these trees a lot more. I don't know why I wasn't doing that. The Mad Tree King. I don't even know if he's going to be an ant anymore. Under there. Let's put some of these black trees down here. I really wish I had the exact color and I could just use the colorable things. Let's put some, yeah, we need some more. I might be skipping all, like my frame rate might be all fucked up. I stopped watching it a while ago because it just frustrates me that Dungeon Drafts has such issues with life. I hope I'm still you guys can still hear my voice, my beautiful, beautiful voice. Put another, not this one though. This one's smaller. Let's do this one. Okay, let's save this puppy. And for today, we are done. We got 1/5 of the first level done. And this is a ford down here is what's going on. That's a bridge over the ford. If you don't want to walk through, that's a bridge. This is all, there's walls here, so you can't really tell on here, but first floor compared to second floor, yeah, you can kind of, there we go. If I do opaque and see on both, bam. Well, you can see the underground thing still. This is the underground of the level above that. But see how this goes along the road here? This is like this mountainous area. So this is where like the mad dude lives, the mad int. And we're gonna fill all this in. And then on the second level, we're gonna have some more crops. I'm gonna put like planters on for the crops up here. But then these are like stone buildings that are more for administration of the area because this area is ran by this dude who, and then the third floor is where he lives, and we're gonna deal with this stuff as we get there. I named all this because sometimes I'm like, what are all these fucking rooms for? So I named all this so it'd be easier for when I get there. And then the final fifth floor or fourth floor is the roof, and we already messed with this the one day. I guess I didn't save it. We're gonna change the tiling on the roof to be more roof-like instead of that tile. Probably. Maybe it was this color. I don't really like this tile at all anymore, so we might change the floor of all of these. But for now, we're on the second floor. No, we're on the first floor, and I bet you that next time we will not finish the first floor. I'm almost positive. Oh, we got to do this whole side too. The underground part of the first floor. So yeah, we're done now finishing that shit. So what I've done is started the top and down, and that's what I was doing before because we don't know when to go inside here until we do the top. Maybe next I'll start on the top floor and go down. I don't know, but that is for me and Dungeon Draft tonight. I'll probably stream something later. I have no idea to stream. If you have any ideas, join my Discord and you can shout them at me and say, "Hey, play this game," because I don't know.